It smells lovely in here.
Thank you. Two questions on banking. So the Treasury Secretary was on the Hill this morning testifying that the system remains sound and people can be confident about their deposits. When the President addressed the situation on Monday, he said that he was going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make sure that this type of failure is less likely to happen in the future. At this point, can you be a little more specific in terms of precisely what the President is looking for from Congress and the banking regulators on this issue?
So to answer the first question, I guess, we have seen bipartisan support on a piece of legislation, Warner-Porter bill, and so we appreciate those folks putting their ideas together and putting that on the table. So we're going to work closely at that bill and other regulatory changes as well. As you all know, the Obama-Biden administration put in place tough requirements after the 2008 financial crisis to make sure that this sort of crisis would not happen again. But unfortunately, in the last administration in 2018, some of those rolled back some of those regulations that would have been incredibly important as we move forward. Already underway, the regulators at the President appointed over the last few years, reversing the changes that we saw in 2018 under the last administration that I just mentioned.
I mean, the question is, are you concerned and what can you do about it? To prevent, as consumers are now making decisions, having seen what happened with SVB and with Signature, what's happening now with First Republic. I mean, what tools do you have to push back against a further concentration in this critical sector?
So look, as it relates to specific banks and institutions, I would refer you to the relevant banking regulators, so I'd leave that there, and that's why the President, but more broadly, that's why the President took the actions that he did over the weekend. Remember, he directed his Treasury Secretary and the NSC Director to come up with a plan on how to deal with what we were seeing with SVB, the Silicon Valley Bank, and so they took action, and now what we believe and what you heard from the Secretary today, which is decisive and forceful actions were taken by the government to strengthen public confidence in our banking system. So there should be confidence in our banking system. Americans do indeed feel confident. I'm not going to speak to any specific bank, as you just asked me about the particular bank in California. We clearly are going to be monitoring.
Okay.
They're really showing themselves to do really well. Come on, man.